says offline. There it goes. It says live.
There we go. All right.
What?
Well, looks good on my end.
All right. So we're good. I guess we're live.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let us know in the chat if it's checking out or if we're having any problems. Do you got like the break screen and all that loaded in there too?
There it is.
Okay, cool. We might just go without a break and try to go for the next 2 hours and try to cram things a little bit. I won't rush anything necessarily, but I want to do like an 11:30 like firm cutoff kind of thing. All right. No problem. Right. I got it open on mine too, but if my internet's cutting out, just let me know and I'll get off of there. All right. Where are my notes? Here we go. All right. So anyways, so this is the first episode of The Forgotten Throne. These are my wonderful players who I've had the privilege of getting to know over the last, I would say, month or so. We have Paul, also known as Calist. We have Lady Tiefling, and that's all I know her by. We have
Also
Cornelius. What was that?
I said also Kelsey.
Oh, okay, Kelsey the Tiefling. We have Cornelius, and then my good friend here who went to a terrible college, but it's okay, we'll forget about that. TP Grant, the Buckeye.
How's it going?
All right. So let's get into it. All right. So Riverbend is a quiet, peaceful town of around 1,000 friendly folks. It happens to be the first town from port on the way into Volcar Keep. The windmill turns on the river right next to the Crackle Pot Tavern, and the merchants set up along the road that passes by the windmill and tavern. There is a nice franchise of taverns that is opened up near the Lord's Manor. It is called the Bronze Dragon Inn and Tavern, and then has an entry fee of 1 gold piece. The merchants set up along the river road. From the entrance of the town, there's a wall and a guard's keep that just surrounds the whole town. So it's, in order to get in and out, you have to go through this one entry point, other than through the docks. So yeah, that is how things will start. I'm going to kick it off and go straight over to Grant. You will know that your father's got a post of training post that is located near the guard's tower.
So Renmore is a tall, kind of slenderish, long half-orc who is currently in a sparkling new set of chainmail armor with a long sword in his hand, a long thin blade, very minimalistic sort of handguard, and he is making long elliptical cuts with small rotations of the handle, working through his footwork, feeling out the armor and feeling how it feels on him. He's very young looking, ashy gray green skin, and is very much just kind of lost in this little bit of exercise that he's doing right now. And just kind of that focus is all right there, and he doesn't see Eva coming up to him. Nope,
No,
you're
you're
good.
good. Is it in OBS? Are you good?
That might have done it.
You should have the 2 at the bottom.
Son of a
Unmuted.
bitch. So it sounds like they heard you, but you didn't hear me.
All right, yeah, so there's 2 speakers at the bottom.
I got it. So
Alright, cool.
desktop audio is on. Mic aux is on. We're good. Okay.
That was the same
God
problem
damn
I had.
it! I'm so upset. glad we caught it early. Glad we caught it early. Yeah. Glad we caught it early. So what I was saying was that's typical. 1, I always manage to get the jump on Renmer. 2, this area is part of my father's blacksmithing shop. So, Renmer's kind of a regular around here. Just always trying to get better with his with swordsplay and all that kind of stuff. So he's around all the time. Eva is a half elf. She comes from a bit of a higher family, just because her dad's pretty well known as a blacksmith. He used to be a soldier, and now is pretty well known as a blacksmith. So she stems from that. I actually gave her the noble background, which is going to be kind of interesting because I haven't ever played that before. So she has walked out of the shop. She was hanging out with her dad for a bit. And of course, there's Renmer in the middle of the yard, practicing with, what kind of sword was that?
A longsword.
Longsword, okay. So Eva approaches him he's completely tunnel visioned, has no idea she's coming up. And I feel like as he's like making a spin around, she's catching him with the rapier that she carries with her.
Ah, Eva. I don't suppose I could convince you to. And he nods over to a rack of wooden weapons. Pick up one of those and give me a real test of this new armor.
Oh, haven't you had your tea yet?
Good tea is always welcome, but first, the armor.
All right. So she would walk over to the rack of weapons and pick up a blended one.
Yeah, Renmore would go over and grab essentially kind of a wooden sword, and just kind of give it a little test swing. And I think I speak for both of us. I feel like kind of like a Simba Nala thing, where it's just like after a couple rounds, it's just like Eva's just like, "Ha, got you again."
Yeah.
And Renmore would be like, "That wouldn't have gone through this new chainmail. Just saying, that would have stopped that."
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Well, that was well struck.
Come on.
Yeah. And I'm assuming we head back to your father's shop for tea.
Yeah.
Okay. So scene cut. Let's pick up on Meek, actually. What is Meek doing right now? It's about midday, I would say.
Midday. Depending on what Garrick is up to, I would assume that she's probably just like waiting. Maybe for him, like kind of like on a side street, like nervously like looking around, holding her pet mouse Squeak in her hand, like kind of nervous as she like looks everywhere. And Meek is a tiefling. Who would have guessed? She has dark red hair that is long and layered, and it kind of covers her face. She has these like large round eyes that are just completely black, and normally she just has like a worried expression on her face. And she also has like red skin that has this like light orange freckles across her face, and she's wearing like all black clothing as she tries to kind of like blend in with the wall behind her. But she's just kind of looking around, spending the day just kind of waiting to see what's gonna happen. Maybe if Garrick had to go and do something, she's just kind of like waiting for him to finish and come back to her.
Okay. So I'll assume you're probably near the Cracklepot Tavern, trying to lay low, not be spotted by too many people. This town doesn't typically have a lot of tiefling, but you do know you're in a kingdom that's very welcoming of a lot of different monster races and things like that. You're probably one of less than a handful of tiefling in this town of 1,000 people.
Okay.
And the other ones are probably either servants or acolytes and things like that in the town. Garrick, knowing this, what are you doing?
I am probably 1.5 sheets to the wind, trying to get to be about 2 to 3 sheets to the wind.
On your own supply, or are you at a tavern?
I am at a tavern. So yeah, so Garrick would be the epitome of nondescript. He's average height, average weight, just a general, nice looking young man. Does not go out of his way to be overly noticed for anything. In fact, he's got this great thing that helps him not to be noticed, a gigantic scarlet macaw that sits on his shoulder. And that macaw gets all the attention. So if someone were to ask what Garrick looks like, they would probably just say he has a macaw on his shoulder and not be able to even describe what he looks like. Just everything just tries to be plain and out of the way except for the macaw.
All right. So we'll assume you're in the Cracklepot Tavern. You probably wouldn't want to go into the Bronze Dragon Inn and Tavern. It's a little bit high-end, more upscale. Plus the fact that you have to pay a gold to go in just to get some drinks probably is a little bit of a put-off. But I could be wrong. Maybe you like that. Maybe you're fine spending your gold on that.
I'm fine spending other people's gold on that. So.
Right. So anyone who would walk into the Cracklepot Tavern would know that there is always a bugbear who is behind the bar washing dishes. He has scars all across his back, his chest, his arms. They appear to be lashings. He does not make eye contact with anyone, keeps his head down all the time while he's working, and he is very quick to clear tables when patrons leave. There's a redheaded dwarf woman who steps out from behind the bar to greet anybody who comes in. And you'll notice she has a southern accent, what we would call a southern accent. Her name is Margot, but everyone there calls her Red. She will always try to upsell a private booth. Otherwise, she says that there are open tables and the bar is always available. You would know too, Garrick, that when you came in today, she explicitly said, "We are all out of meat, and I don't think we're going to have any for a little while, but they do have plenty of eggs, biscuits, and the house gravy."
Okay. Do they have ale?
Of course.
Oh, well, then I'm
She
set.
points over to the corner where they actually have a long glass stem that's sealing to bar. That's where she fills the ale from.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
So she keeps them flowing. She's obviously seen you in here before. She's a big fan of your macaw. And she asks you, will your friends be joining you today?
Oh,
Be joining you today. I'm sorry.
I'm sure that I've got many friends. Someone will be in here soon. But yeah. I'm sure I'll have a friend in here very soon.
And what was her name again? I seem to have forgotten.
I forget everybody's name, so I don't know.
Okay.
Which friend are you talking about?
That one girl who was very quiet and keeps her face covered all the time.
Girl keeps her quiet. That doesn't sound like any of my friends.
Oh, okay.
I hang out with boisterous lots.
If that's what you call it when they're picking fights with you. All right. We're going to cut back to, or actually, you overhear some gossip going on in the tavern. You hear someone say that they heard that the main kingdom or the main castle, Valkar Keep. They've actually gotten a lot tighter with security there, and they've been pulling guards back from the outskirts of the kingdom lately.
Okay.
I will then cut back to Renmer and Eva.
I think
Eva,
Renmore's
yeah, that's correct.
I have to say, Redmore's probably put his regular clothes back on, so he's wearing quite bright, flamboyant clothing, like red and white slash sleeves, trousers, a big hat, feather in the hat, and is calmly sipping tea with 2 swords next to him, and just saying to Eva, "I'm quite excited as Father has finally given me permission to wear the family crest, and I'm able to seek contract as a mercenary."
I think Eva's just eyeballing the hat. Is that normal?
If you're going to make your way as a mercenary, you best dress like one.
She takes a sip. She's just like, all right. I'm actually out of tea. I'm super sad. I had to fake it.
So you guys are you just got dressed? Are you inside of like the training school or?
I thought we were inside the blacksmith, her father's blacksmith.
The blacksmith. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And forgive the change of accent. I forgot that's what I was actually going to use for Eva. And I just started talking in my normal voice.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean we're sitting there. We're just sitting there drinking tea. I'm trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to laugh. I just this is a new getup.
He's always dressed a little bit like he's always had his eye on being a mercenary and like models himself on what he's seen. But yeah,
this is a bit out there even for you.
Well, you still plan on also seeking contract, do you not?
So not dressed like that, I don't.
Well, the swords are what matter.
Right. That is true. Listen, I'm out of. I'm out. We should.
You should probably check on Meek as well. I have not seen her in a few days.
Oh, that's true. I haven't seen her either.
So you guys, I would assume, start making your way out of the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
And as you are walking down the street, Renmer, you lock eyes with a half-orc woman walking the other way. She's probably 3 inches taller than you, looks a lot stronger than you, and is in some very nice chainmail as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hers looks like it's seen some combat before, unlike yours. And she kind of snickers at looking down at your chainmail, knowing that it has not seen any action.
Do I know this half-orc?
You would know her possibly. We will say yes. Yeah,
okay.
You know her. And her name is Grona. Grona. And she's got a giant maul on her back. Like just massive. Like you would never even dream of trying to wield a maul that big because it just looks like it would be clunky and hard to maneuver in combat. But she walks right on by you after smirking. And you know there's kind of like a little bit of a rivalry there that she feels for you. You know, she kind of looks down on you a little bit. Because of who your father is, she has high expectations and you haven't lived up to them yet.
Yeah.
And she hasn't held any of this back.
Do I know of anything she's done recently, like in terms of like what sort of action she's seen showing on her armor?
Yeah, so you know she has fought battles to the west, closer to a city called Krakken. It's actually really far southwest, on the other side of the Iron Forest. And she's traveled on ship before. She doesn't know Garrick, but Garrick may have heard of her at some point too, because she has also served on a ship before. And she's not originally from these parts. She's actually originally from down south in the Orcs Arrow Peninsula, where typically orcs are they're put into slavery and things like that, and they're just, the stereotype of an orc, basically.
Mhm.
But she's a half orc, so she was kind of outcast there as well.
I just kind of sigh and turn to Eva and like, Grona, she's seen a few paltry skirmishes and she thinks herself a warrior.
So as you guys are walking too,
I'm sorry, I'm like trying to unmute myself in both
Oh, it's okay.
places.
Go ahead if you want to say something.
So, he mentions the name, and I immediately look around. I probably know who she is. I'm sure Renmer has pointed her out multiple times to me. So he says that. She's like, well, I mean, that's... Yeah, she's a bit more vocal about it, but, I mean, that's... Half the people in the training ground.
Any thug can kill with a maul.
Pay her no mind. You have other things to worry about.
So as you guys are walking to the Cracklepot Tavern, you're going to walk by multiple merchants, jewelers, things like that. Not really any arms dealers. This, like I said, it's a smaller town, so Eva's father would probably be the one who makes most of the mundane weaponry here, but there just isn't a large selection. In fact, most of the weapons that are in this town have been brought in from outside. A man on a horse goes flying past you guys, headed towards the tavern. He's got the horse galloping as fast as can be, and you may have saw him at the guard shack when you left the blacksmith. He gets off and goes into the tavern relatively quickly. He's not running, but he's walking pretty quickly. Nothing else seems to catch your eye as you walk to the tavern, except you see Meek across the street, kind of gazing in the direction of the tavern between two buildings, trying to stay in the shadows a bit. So Meek, you see your friends Renmer and Eva.
If I see them, I'll actually like step out a little bit and just like start like waving at them like frantically, like really excited to see them.
Aw.
Meek, those ruffians have left you alone, yes?
Oh, yeah, for a while, yeah. I've been good. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Where's your friend? I'm forgetting his name. The rather plain fellow.
Yeah, he went inside. I was just gonna wait out here because, there's a bunch of people in there. But if you guys are gonna go in, I want to go in with you guys. It's been a while.
Let's come with us.
And she'll just like happily like kind of follow along with a little trot. And she's pretty short. She's probably like 5 feet tall. So.
How old is she? Just out of curiosity.
Like, good question. I'm deciding right now. Probably like 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how to act. I gotta figure out how to act toward her. I apologize. I should have asked that before. Go ahead. So we're going in together. I'd pass you a sisterly smile and go on in.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys make your way around the horse that was tied up pretty hastily. And when you walk in, there is nobody here. The bar is completely open. The tables are completely open, except for Garrick off at one table on one end of the room. And then you see on the opposite end of the room is the guy who just ran in, basically. He's sitting there with his head in his hands like this. And you guys see that the bugbear, who is typically doing dishes and stuff like that, is trying to talk to the dwarf woman off to the side. And when she sees you guys, she quickly snaps out of it and comes up to you and says, well, hello there. My name is Margot, but everyone calls me Red. Can I interest you in a private booth, or would you want an open table or a bar seat?
Hello, Red.
Oh, hello, Renmer.
I was gonna say, I feel like we would be rather regular here.
So I have to tell you guys, we are all out of meat, and I don't think we're going to have any for a little while. But we do have plenty of eggs and biscuits and the house gravy.
Sounds excellent. I'll probably be eating something in a little bit. I believe we're here to find Meek. What was the name of your friend again?
Oh, and I'll just like point him out.
Oh, are you sure you don't want a private booth?
Noise, nervous noise. Point at him.
Ah, the bird. Right.
I was gonna say, please tell me you forgot his name too.
The Scarlet Macaw.
So does Garrick hear any of this going on?
Oh yeah, there's nobody here. There's no music. It's a pretty quiet place right now. It's
Okay.
daytime. It doesn't pick up till later on, once night falls.
All right, I just look over at him, and I kind of like, give the little squint, trying to see if
I just
if I have 6 friends there or 3. I'm not 100% sure which way it's going right now.
Oh no.
All right, so you guys make your way over to the table, and she asks, Margot asks you if you guys would like any ale or anything else.
Who's that rather distressed-looking fellow over there?
I don't know. He just came in here and said that his wagon is gone. That's all he really said so far. I haven't had a chance to really get to know him better.
Oh, that's odd.
I perk up and I start looking around. I'm like, it wasn't me. So, I've been here all day.
I'm gonna like look thoughtfully over to that gentleman, and as I bring out the kettle, I'm gonna bring out the kettle. Margot, be a dear and fill that for me, please.
Oh, no problem.
Hmm.
And she scurries off behind the bar. She actually hands it to the bugbear, and you can't make out what she says, but he puts his head down and goes to the back quickly.
Okay. If it takes him longer than like a minute or two to get back, I'm gonna be concerned.
Oh no, he's quick. In fact, he's already got it back on your or back to her, and it's on your table.
Oh, good. I'm glad they didn't actually try to like heat it themselves. Okay.
Nope, he's awesome.
Okay.
They
Wonderful.
know probably too from dealing with you.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. They probably do.
Especially
Thank
him.
you.
He's probably been burned by it or something.
Oh yeah, probably. All right. So I'll take that. I'll make sure that something's under it, and I'll start checking my pockets for my last tea bag.
So you will notice that the guy across the room is human, and it looks like he's in some really fine clothes, but you know they don't look so fine right now. They're covered with mud. His legs up to his knees are just—it's almost like he was down on his hands and knees in some mud. It's just caked on.
Oh, that's not good.
And he's not drinking anything right now. In fact, Margot goes over to him and starts talking to him, and you can overhear him say, "My coin purse is gone."
His wagon, his coin purse.
I think this fellow may be in need of assistance.
I would agree.
Eva, do you wish to speak to him?
I was going to ask you the same question.
You know I'm not good with new people.
Shouldn't we alert the guards? He couldn't have come that far.
No need to alert guards. No.
He already
No
passed the
guards.
guard post. Surely the guards
Yeah.
are aware.
They know all sorts of stuff. Guards are great in this town. So, yeah, no guards. No guards.
You hear
Garrick, have you
Margot-
been busy?
You do hear Margot offer up to him a free room for at least the night.
Oh, that's good.
And she does bring him some ale, but it is not from that very nice glass stein that you see. It is from behind the bar underneath.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Discount shit.
The discount stuff or the really good stuff?
Yeah.
It's in a tankard, you can't tell.
Stuff right there.
Okay.
He does seem relieved, though, to receive something to drink.
There you go.
Renmore just kind of like takes a deep breath and just says, "Friend, what brings you here?"
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Uh,
I mean, there's almost nobody else here.
Forgive us for overhearing, but you seem terribly distressed.
I see a lot of people here.
Long story, rough couple days.
Couple days?
I was about 2 days out on the trail, and I was mugged.
Bandits?
Yes, well organized. As you can see, I'm by myself. I was with a caravan of merchants, and we had guards, and I managed to get away. All of us were being held captive for a while, and they took all our money, everything from our wagons. They destroyed the useless wagons with mundane stuff, as they called that. You know, it's... I don't know. There's nothing I can do. My livelihood, my friends, gone. I don't know if they're alive, dead.
So you say they destroyed the mundane things.
They burned a wagon full of things like, you know, water skins, explorers packs, you know, stuff that we typically set up shop and sell.
What did they not burn?
I mean, we have one of my friends who was an alchemist, and he had some valuable stuff that I think they could find lots of use out of.
Surely you told the guard on your way in.
Oh, everything I just told you, I told the guard. I even gave the guard a list of names. We were coming to set up here in town because we knew that, you know, this town is a small town. We knew that they had people who would need weapons, armor, things like that. You know, we know that even the blacksmith here can't churn out what is necessarily needed at all times. So we had already worked it out. We had paid for a license, and we were on our way to setting up for a couple weeks.
It's a shame that everything got destroyed, though.
Yes.
And are you the only one that escaped?
Oh yes, they were asking questions, and you know, they had us all on our hands and knees, and I happened to be closest to the horses. They cut the horses off of the wagons. They were going to take them with them, and I managed to jump on a horse and get out of there as quick as possible.
Oh.
How many bandits were there?
I don't know. You know, there were about 6 of us merchants with 6 wagons, and we had about 12 horses, and they had us outnumbered for sure. I mean, there was probably anywhere from 10 to 20. I really wasn't paying attention to that. I was just trying to keep myself alive more than anything.
Well, I think the assumption that they're bandits is going a little bit too far.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they were wearing decent armor. They took our guards out before we even seen them.
Bandits don't burn valuable supplies. They're not common bandits.
No.
Do you know where they took the captives?
No, we were on the side of the trail. I ran away as quick as I saw a chance to get away.
And about how far outside of town was this spot?
About 2 days.
2 days away.
And the guard has not agreed to do anything about this?
They said they would try to investigate, but they do not have lots of people to help them. They said they're short-staffed, which we already knew that. I mean, you know, the fact that Volkar Keep has pulled guards back, you know, the last couple weeks, that's been part of the problem. And, you know, honestly, I mean, there hasn't been, you know, really bad criminal activity on these trails for a long time.
Well, it sounds absolutely awful. I'm sorry for your situation, but, you know, unfortunately that's the way it goes when you travel these these roads alone. So, yeah, best of luck to you. And
Renmore's
I go wandering back off to my table.
Renmore's gonna turn to Eva and just be like, "This appears to be an opportunity." His hand is right in front of the guy. He's like, no sense.
Pieter is looking at Eva and Renmer and completely ignoring Garrick and Meek because they just look kind of weak in his eyes.
Yeah.
A little 5'0" girl and Garrick who's wasted and with a bird on his shoulder. And he says, "Do you two know anybody who might be able to help? I'm sure I could talk to some people in the guild about a reward or something."
Wait, reward? Hold on. Wait, oh. You, sir. You are the type of person I like to help. I hate to hear about criminal scum waylaying
way outside of the town where it's harder to help.
He kind of looks at Garrick and says, what could a man like you possibly do? I mean, you don't have any nice armor or weapons or... I thought you were trying to employ these two.
No, I wouldn't judge a book by its cover, dear.
Yeah, no, I've got way more dangerous things than swords and armor. Huh. I've got a Kraken.
Are you one of those cultists?
Cultists?
Yeah, the cultists that worship those tentacle creatures.
No, I've got a Kraken, and I hold my shoulder up, and then I say, Kraken! And then the parrot goes, and throws its wings up, and then just wiggles back and forth on my arm, going...
I don't actually know what he does. Aside,
very dangerous, thank you.
So one of my friends, if he has perished, he did have quite a few valuable things. Not valuable to adventurers like yourselves, but he did have some chests that had coins and things in it. If you find these chests, in the bottom of them are papers. Papers such as entitlements to land and other things.
Oh.
If you can get at least those back for me, above all else, you will earn your reward. How much, I don't know. I will have to speak to the guild. Speaking of which, does your bird, your pigeon, whatever it is it able to send messages?
As
It's a Kraken. It's not a messenger pigeon.
Right, like as soon as he calls the bird a pigeon, I'm just I'm eyeballing Garrick.
You guys see that Pieter's a little bit more perky because of the back and forth with Garrick has kind of rubbed him wrong to the point where now he kind of looks down on Garrick.
Okay.
He's kind of mad that a drunk would talk to him in such a way.
I mean, for reference, like I or Eva haven't seen him do anything other than drink, correct? He hasn't breaking out any of the powers yet.
Probably drink and talk to his bird a lot.
Yeah, okay. So I'm just, I remember, so literally, like, I don't actually know what he does. But Eva and I would be more than happy. Eva, yes, we'd be more than happy to attempt to assist you and your friends.
Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt. It doesn't seem to be much other choice, does there?
Meek, would you be okay staying in town for a little bit, or would you like to accompany us?
Oh, that's, it'd be scary, but I think I could go with you. I just feel like, and I'll kind of like get closer to you and whisper this a little. It's been 2 days. They're probably all dead anyway.
Is this one of those moments where she like stage whispers and we can all
Yes,
hear
this is
it?
worst full-on
Yeah,
psych
yeah.
whispering at this point.
Yeah,
Oh man.
for sure. Yeah, she
Yours is
definitely thinks. Yeah.
Most likely, but this is my first contract. I'm just really excited.
Oh my god.
She'll kind of like nod excitedly for you and just.
So
Oh,
Pieter,
dear.
who is still across the room, by the way, with most of this conversation going on, but his chair is now turned to you. He looks at Garrick and says, "I'm sorry, I was a little out of line. Clearly, I'm a little distressed. I should not be acting this way, and I need all the help I can get. We can't lose those papers. Those papers are very important, and they have to get to somewhere. They just do. And if you could get those back, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you do, I might have additional work for you in the future."
Okay.
As soon as he said that, I'm just like side glancing at Renmer because I know he's like bouncing in his seat right now.
What do you call yourselves?
We don't.
Recently hired.
You call yourselves recently hired?
We're working on a name.
Well, surely you've been on many missions.
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
It's just
My wife is not making fun of your name, recently hired. I assure you.
I feel like we could have a good marketing strategy with recently hired.
Yeah.
I mean, surely you get plenty of jobs. I mean, you have brand new armor on, sir.
I do. We're workshopping that.
Okay. Anyways, so the details I can give you are it's 2 days east. I have no idea where they came from. They kind of ambushed us from all sides, like they were expecting us, which isn't much of a surprise. I mean, we traveled kind of slow. I mean, we didn't want to lose anything off the wagons or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we felt, that having the few guards we had was more than enough on these safe roads.
So you did have an armed escort.
We did. We had 4 mercenaries.
That
Much
2
like
days
your
on
son.
horseback or 2 days on foot?
Oh no, on foot. I see, in here. There's not a lot of horses, in this town, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 2 nights on foot.
And were these mercenaries that you've hired before?
No. We travel once, every couple, 2 months. And so when we do, we typically will hire new mercenaries to take us to the next town.
Were the mercenaries immediately all murdered?
Yes. Yep, all 4 dropped. Like
Mhm.
almost instantaneous before we could even turn our heads to see what was happening.
Okay.
There was a turned over tree that kind of forced us to stop too at first. We could go around it, but not with the wagons. The wagons couldn't have made it around the tree.
And who knew the route that you were taking?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, some of the other merchants have loose lips, but they usually say stuff to drum up business in the next town so that people know we're coming. So it's not, it's not unreasonable. I mean, heck, even the Lord here knew we were coming. I'm sure the guards knew we were coming because they wouldn't have let us in if we showed up with a bunch of wagons, and tried to set up without a license.
Side to DM,
taxes.
have we heard of any bandits operating in the area?
No, but in recent times you have heard of some people just not making it to their destinations on the outskirts of the like the western outskirts of the kingdom, the region.
So it potentially has been a growing problem.
Possibly.
This is most distressing, considering it sounds like they were rather organized and professional. I'm surprised that we have not encountered more people who have been hit by them.
Yes, you guys are probably correct. I mean, I have to get word out to the Merchants Guild immediately because, typically just the minimum is to hire 4 sellswords to guide you to the next place. But we're going to definitely have to ramp up the amount of people moving forward, or at least make sure they are highly trained. They can't just be your typical mercenaries. Your family crest looks familiar.
Yes, I was recently named an adept in the sword school of Gorome.
Oh. Are you related to, what's his name? Great warrior.
Cormier?
Yes.
Yes, that's just it's my father.
Really? That is wonderful. Surely you must be highly skilled then.
I was.
Oh, he's the most highly skilled.
Adept.
What about? And what did you say your name was, Miss? He turns to the half elf.
The name is Eva.
Eva. And are you? What do you think about his skill? Are you? I mean, I see that you have some weapons and armor as well.
Oh, I half trained him myself.
Yeah. He kind of walks over and says, "What's up with the hat?"
Your guess is as good as mine. It's new.
It's new. Okay.
Mika's impressed as you do that. As they're having that conversation, she's just like looking like, ooh, pretty.
Right?
She's batting at the feather or something.
Yeah.
He reaches down into his boot and he pulls out a piece of parchment paper and sets it on the table. And on it, it has a note, and it looks like it's his name, Pieter, of the Merchants Guild, and it has a number that you can't quite make out. And he says, "This is for your next job. Should you complete this one, this will guide you."
Very well, thank you. And I'll take the slip of paper.
So he then goes and sits back at his table. And this time you see that there's now food there in his spot. Eggs, biscuits, a lot of gravy. And he just starts chowing down.
Hey, you might want to avoid the gravy. They've been out of meat for a while.
Who has that paper, by the way?
I thought he handed it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with Eva.
Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a just a straight intelligence check.
Okay. All right. That will be an 11.
You would probably recognize this as a kind of like a bank number,
Okay.
like a box number for because you can kind of make out some of the scribbling. So it's in the main city.
Mm-hmm.
You would have why is this doing this? At Balkar Keep, there's a library, and it actually has like bank boxes.
Okay. At the very least, I'd probably be the most likely to actually keep up with the thing, so I'll hold on to this.
Okay. All right. So what are you guys doing? Just hanging out in the tavern?
I was thinking, considering that he came in here, had no money, and he's been given food and drink and a room, I wanted to go talk to Margot and see what she knew about him.
So she continues to come by. I mean, knowing that you drink a lot, she comes by with a round for everybody and 3 for you right now. Because you've been around here a lot lately. And some of the drinks she doesn't even charge you for.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So.
Renmore would initially be like, I'm not very liquid right now.
So yeah, I wanna try to, take her to the side and figure out what she knows about this guy. Just kind of get the feel for, obviously she's taking care of him, so I'm assuming that she knows him somewhat.
So she tells you that typically, well, instead of just paraphrasing, what is it you would like to know, Garrick?
Oh, well, he comes in without any money, and then he's served and given a room, so I'm assuming he's a good customer, regular, you know him, you know of him.
I vaguely remember. I mean, he comes in once every year or two with, typically other men. I believe his story. He's always been good for money, and he's tipped well.
Okay.
He tends to know a lot of gossip, but keeps things to himself. People tell him things.
Yeah. No fun. I like loose lips.
If you get on his good side, he might pay you to handle some of these things.
Okay. That sounds good.
But he seems like a good guy. I don't feel like there's anything too shady.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't trust anybody that has nothing shady going on. You got to be a little bit,
I like you, Garrick.
I know. Everybody does. So, yeah, I guess with that, just head on back, and we're gonna need to get everything at least written down of where we're going, what we're looking for, names of the people that were there. I would like to get a little bit of information, things that maybe only people in this party would know, so that we can't be necessarily tricked by someone trying to impersonate that they're one of the captives.
Was that for me? I thought that was for them. Sorry.
No, I'm just telling you just kind of a summary. I'd like to make sure I know where we need to go, what we're looking for, who the people are, and then a little bit of information about each person.
So
I don't need it all. I don't need it all now. I'll need to have that information handy and remember it.
Okay. Before you guys head out or whatever, Pieter does tell you that if you see any guys in armor covered with mud, it appears, those would be your guys probably. It seemed like they lathered it on before they attacked, almost to blend in a little more with the surroundings of the area.
Could Renmore get, or does he know, a general sense of the topography of the road to kind of just think out where the likely ambush points would be?
So based on where he set, does anybody have a map on them? It would have been probably in your equipment of some sort.
Let me see here.
I'm not sure I do.
Because I think some backgrounds and stuff give maps and things like that.
So I'd have to double check, because I do have a map and a map case from the standard gear, but I don't know if that's like a map of everything or a map of just like the town I was from.
It's probably the town you're from, I think. But we will spin it. So it is a map of this kingdom, we'll say.
Okay.
Maybe that's why you came here.
Mm-hmm.
So you pull out the map, and he tells you, he kind of starts looking at it. It's got the roads, the most commonly traveled roads. And he points at an area that he thinks they were at. Obviously, they weren't actively looking at a map because the trails are pretty easy to follow. But he points at an area that is probably, I would say, a half-hour's jog away from the river. It's a little bit, the dirt in that area is probably a little bit more soft, more muddy, a little bit harder to travel. And he pinpoints that at about 2 days out from you guys right now.
Yes, this looks like a good spot for an ambush. Is there an obvious? Is there a path off the road that we can take there?
He does not recall seeing any paths, just mud, pretty much.
Or like a general area, idea, like what I know of, way of getting there that is off the road, coming at it from a different angle.
Roll a survival check for me.
Okay.
Beat a 15 and I'll say yes. Less than 15, we'll say no.
Survival is +0, so that's a 9.
So no, you don't know of any other trails really. Most of your travels have always been along the most commonly traveled routes. Probably because it's a peaceful area, you just would never think, oh, I need to, find other ways.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
All right. So Margot keeps the drinks coming if you want it. She does tell Garrick that if he wants to stay in the tavern tonight, or in the inn tonight, that would be fine. She says, this time, please do not ruin the betting. Last time it was horrible, and she is not happy with having to clean that up.
Bad Krakken. Bad Krakken, I told you not to do that. You can't handle your liquor. I will make sure he's good this time, I promise.
We're going to be spending 2 days on the road. Does anyone have tents?
I'm pretty tense about sleeping in the wild.
I grabbed the map and I kind of like do like this, and I was like, this is my blanket.
I'm sure we can find something before we go.
Perhaps we should look sooner rather than later. If there are hostages involved, then time is likely of the essence.
Of course. Yes.
So, if I wanted to study the map and just kind of get an idea of where we're going, what would you have me roll on that?
That's a good question. I would probably say survival would probably work, unless you have a better idea of what you're thinking.
Yeah, I think survival's probably fine. Yep. No, not that much. Okay. Yep.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 5.
Okay. Yeah. You realized you were looking at the map upside down. And, but even then, once you turn it right side up, you're kind of like, I'm too drunk to figure this out.
There's too much dry stuff on this map. I like my maps wetter. Okay. No, not for me.
Meek, would you just please take that from him? We're
Yeah.
You guys, if you ended up wanting to, you could add probably another day onto your journey and walk along the water to kind of get to the area, or you could take the path, by the way.
Well,
Is Heiter still here?
He probably, after eating, probably would have went up to his room to bathe and take care of things.
While I feel a certain obligation to attempt to rescue the hostages, the contract was for papers, yes?
Yes.
And I feel...
Yeah, he said nothing about retrieving hostages.
I feel our first duty is to ourselves in this case, and
I like the way you think.
we should not approach in the way 4 other mercenaries were killed instantly.
I like not getting killed.
Sorry, are we where Peter can hear us?
No, he moved off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'll look to you guys and say, I think it sounds like we're doing the guard's job. I think maybe someone should go by them and be like, hey, we're going to do this for you so you don't have to and get another payment. Because really, we're helping them out too.
I like the way you think too.
Well, I could go attempt to procure a tent and you could try to talk to the guards. Or would you rather it go the other way?
I mean, I could do either. It would probably be fine. Maybe. And she just starts being super nervous.
Meek, it's all right. We can talk to the guards.
Poor dear.
All right, so So is Meek going to talk to the guards?
No, well, I'll go talk to the guards. And
Oh, you're going to talk to the guards.
sense because I don't have any money anyway.
I got you. We're good.
I'm a little financially tied up in my armor right now.
Of
How
course.
much is the tent?
So is it just you approaching the guards, Renmer,
Yeah.
or is everyone going with you?
I'm assuming Garrick doesn't want to come.
If there's possible money involved, I like going. Oh wait, no guards. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, guard's bad. So it
Yeah.
sounds like Renmer is going to talk to the guards by himself.
Okay.
Eva and Meek and Garrick, if they want to accompany her, is gonna go get stuff for the journey.
Okay.
So, do
so-
we have a river skip
Oh,
to
sorry.
kind of move along the river? Because I know we were moving down the river previously, but it might have been misplaced.
You talking about a little
Sure.
boat?
Yeah, or return to its previous owner. I'm just wondering.
Or sold for drinking money.
Oh, well, what would you do? Would you send it down the river? Would you keep it somewhere, cover it up, hide it?
My guess is probably somewhere along the river, hidden someplace.
Okay. Do me a favor. Give me a wilderness check again.
Another survival check.
Yep, 15 or higher, it's out there. Under 15, it's not where you left it. Or where you thought you left it.
It's an 11.
Yeah, it's so, in other words, again, you're drunk. You think you left it somewhere, you don't remember, you were probably drunk when you showed up, and so you basically lost it.
I would like to say, hiding things when you're drunk is a specialty of my background.
Question, and
Oh
if,
my
if
God.
it's not, it's fine.
hide it
But
so
would I
well
have
even-
been with him so that maybe I would know where it was?
Okay, I'll give you a 15 difficulty for Will.
Ooh.
Okay. Which dice? Important.
She was sober.
I rolled a 5, so I have no idea. Don't worry, I
I don't even know
remember
what we're looking
exactly
for.
where we put it. I
We're
remember.
off to
I
a
remember.
great start rolling one.
This
You
is
gotta get all the
fine.
bad rules out when they don't matter.
This is fine. We're good. We're good.
Okay, so Renmer, you approach the guard shack. It's probably getting closer to dinner time because you guys talked a little bit about your plans and looked over maps and things like that. And as you approach, you see clearly a dragonborn, a silver dragonborn who's just kind of standing there looking very regal, and he's in full plate.
Do I know him? Does he like train with my father at all?
No. You know who he is. I mean, you know probably a lot of the guards here because they do kind of, they're right next to it. So, anyways, and as you approach him, he's got a nice halberd that he's holding, and he asks you if he can help you. Can
Yes.
I help you, son?
I'm hearing tales of travelers disappearing and potential highwaymen on the road. Has the guard been made aware of this?
Of course, but it's not any of your concern.
Are you handling it yourselves, or are you posting a reward?
Are you able to help? I mean, I see you have new armor that you didn't have that last week.
I have recently achieved adept status and am now able to be hired. I was wondering if you would like to hire us to go take care of this little bandit problem.
I am in no position to hire anybody, but if you want to seek the Lord and ask him if he will pay you for your services, that is fine. I will advise you, be careful while you're out there. We are short-staffed. We cannot just send patrols out anymore. Other more urgent matters are pressing us.
What I know is seeking employment through the Lord. Is that like a local official who could do that, or do I need to go up to the keep?
Locally, you could do that. He could
Okay.
put someone
Like,
on the guard.
In the guard shack, is he just being like, dude, you talk to the secretary, like over there? That's not my job."
So you would know there's a Lord's Manor, and sometimes he does like little talks down in the Merchant Square of any important news for the town. He's kind of like the diplomat, really not much more than that. So kind of the way it works is you have to like orders that trickle down from, the main castle all the way out to the outskirts. The only stuff he can really control is inside his walls for the most part.
Okay. So that's the guy I would have to go talk to?
To be hired and paid, probably. The guards, I mean, I guess they could pay you out of their own pocket, but I don't think they would care to.
There's no posted reward currently, though?
Nothing posted right now.
Okay. Then
And you would actually see there is a job board outside the Crackle Pot Tavern, and it does not mention anything about this.
Okay. Then I will make my way down to the manor to try to get a double payday out of this.
Okay. All right, so you're heading to the manor. As you're doing that, we will cut over to Garrick, Eva, and Meek.
I was just going to say, is there any chance I could just look over at Kraken and say, Kraken, be a good bird and see if you can find our boat, and send Kraken to fly up and down the river and see if he can find the boat?
Okay. Give me a straight intelligence check. Or no, for him, we will do a investigation.
Investigation.
You're flying and trying to investigate.
He can, I was going to
At
say...
disadvantage.
He's at disadvantage.
Yes, it's been a while.
It's a bird.
And it's a bird.
Does he get to use his mental stats through his familiar, or is that a special property?
He's got the stats, I think, for his bird. He knows the that block. Sorry, you probably have to look it up now, don't you?
Well, I've got it here. I'm just...
It'd probably just be a straight intelligence check. I doubt it has investigation.
Let's see. Yeah, no. He got a 1. He's
A 1.
If it was, he'd have a bonus, but he's a bird, so he's got bird intelligence.
Okay, so
if
with
it's
that,
perception or survival, he has a good bonus, but...
Okay,
Birds-
so with
birds
that,
not
I will
birds.
say your bird does not come back for a little bit. Like, you have no idea where your bird went. Like, it shouldn't have been this long. Like, he's probably out chasing tail. Who knows? He's just gone somewhere. For now.
Oh,
Hopefully
no.
he'll come back. I'll roll for it later.
Oh. Oh no.
Garrick, Eva, and Meek.
Shouldn't have given him that rum.
So as the bird flies off, and Garrick seems so proud of himself, like he just came up with like this brilliant idea. And Meek probably thinks it wasn't that bad of an idea because she's seen the bird do some spectacular things in the short time she's known him.
Yeah, I also have a very low intelligence, so I was like, yeah, this is great.
Fascinating.
No way this could go wrong.
No.
So you guys make your way down Merchant's Row, and you look for the guy who would be selling some, and it's a nice little shop. It's got like candles and other things, sitting outside on the tables under the overhang on the porch, and okay, this is the guy. This is our place. And you walk in and you see a guy who's like hunched over, and like his left arm, it just kind of twitches every now and then. It's like, oh, welcome. I haven't had visitors all day. I was just about to close shop. How are you?
Would I know his name?
Yeah, his name is Greg.
All right, so
He's very old, by the way.
yeah.
He's got lumps on his head, like he's got permanent lumps from being hit.
Okay. Yeah. So I would walk. I feel like I would know a fair amount of the shopkeepers here.
Yes.
So I would walk in. Oh, hello, Greg. How are you? And just generally just be pleasant.
I'm good. What can I interest you with today?
Well, it seems we're going on a bit of a journey. Believe we're going to be helping out the guards with a couple of things outside of town.
Oh, okay. Like what? What could possibly be going on?
Well, there appears to be some kidnappings. It's not very good business.
Kids are missing? What is going on?
Oh, well, it seems a traveling merchant was attacked. He rushed into the tavern earlier. He's very distressed. He doesn't know where the rest of his party is.
Good. Serves him right. He seems like upset at the mention of merchants coming into town.
Traveling merchants. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Greg, come now. That's not very nice.
Business is already slow. What good does having them come in and set up shop right across the street and then taking our business and then leaving in a month or two? What good does that do us? It hurts us. I gotta pay taxes, you know.
Listen, I understand you're upset, but this is not good.
What's in it for me? Like, seriously, I told the Lord every time to stop letting them come back.
What's in it for you is I'm here doing business with you right now.
Ah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Business is hard.
Of course.
Ever since Greta died. I don't know. I'm thinking of closing up shop.
Who's Greta?
My wife.
I didn't ask that. I didn't ask that in game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have specified that. Yeah, like who's Greta off the top of my head? If I would even know.
No, he's telling you though that his wife Greta had died.
Oh, okay.
And then he starts
Okay.
sobbing uncontrollably in the corner.
All right. I'll just I'll gather what I need and I'll meet you back up here in a moment. Oh dear. Meek, do you have a handkerchief or something I could? Oh goodness.
I start to take the map out and hold it up.
He takes it.
It's
Oh,
already,
oh
like,
no, oh.
You would also know that Greta died over 30 years ago of natural causes. And,
Oh,
and
dear,
this is a sob story he throws out there every time someone comes into his shop.
oh dear. All right.
I take the map back and just stuff it back into the scroll case.
Oh my god! Why?
Gross.
I fucking can't with this. God damn it. Is anybody proficient with D&D Beyond? Because I can't find my spells.
So you have to go to your spells and pick them if you haven't picked them yet.
Oh, maybe I just haven't done that. Actually, I'm level 1. I don't think I have that yet.
Because you have them all the time as a paladin. Oh yeah, you don't. You don't have spellcasting. I think.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's
but
fine.
once you get it, you have to set up the ones you prepared that day, or they won't show up on your sheet.
Yeah, okay. So I'm like, oh, Greg, don't do that. And then he does it. And so Meek takes the map back and just like, oh, don't. Shoves it back in pocket. Oh, dear. Oh. I'm just going to go look around the shop and get what we need.
Okay, so you see single-person tents, and you see larger, like up to 6-person tents, and you even see bigger ones than that are there.
I'm going to grab a 6-person tent.
Okay. When you grab the 6-person tent, he kind of looks at you and says, "What do you want to pay for it?"
1 gold.
Eva's just stunned, because normally it's not her going through and doing all this, but she does have at least, a semi-working relationship with the rest of the merchants, so she doesn't answer immediately. Meek chimes in with 1 fucking gold. I just like,
And he looks at her and says, "Hell no.
Oh, no,
I poured my
no.
heart out to you.
Of
and
course.
what you offer?
Meek,
Get out of my shop."
Meek, let me do this, please.
I
orders
thought
me-
gold. I don't know how much this is worth.
It's all right, dear. Just wait outside for me, please.
I huff and go out in a bit of a with just a huff.
Oh, darling.
Greg turns to Eva and says, "If you don't come with a better offer, I will not sell anything to you tonight."
Oh my god! What the fuck?
He is
God.
furious. And goes back to kind of thinking, and he pulls out this like a garter belt or something, some kind of clothing,
Okay.
and just starts holding it close to his chest. And he's like now almost in a fetal position, sitting with his legs crossed in the corner. Like he's just.
Oh my
so
god. I'll get back to you on that. I'm not quite done yet. Holy shit. All right. So.
I shouldn't do this, but I really just want to do this because of how he acted. On the way out, is there anything like on a shelf? The first thing, I just want to grab it and run it. Of course, light of hand all the way.
Okay.
But I just like in a huff, like I'm angry, like I kick the side of like something, and if anything comes off, I just want to grab it in my hand and like put it in a pocket.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Okay, so you see what looks like a case, like this big, sitting on the edge of a shelf right next to the door. Like, literally right next to it. Roll a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Beat a 15, because he's watching you. He's mad at you.
He's making sure you leave.
I have a big bonus. No, it wasn't that. It was 11.
So you reach for this thing, and you don't even grab it. Like, you hit it, and it kind of gets shuffled down on the shelf. And he thinks that you're just trying to hit it out of the way. If you're below a 10, by the way, I was going to make you get caught. But
yeah,
kind of reach for it and hit it, and he thinks you're just being a jerk.
Yeah.
And he says, Eva, put that back on the shelf, please.
Okay, all right. And I'll go do that.
Yeah. And I'll just walk out, and then I'll just, like, with my hands crossed, like, outside the door, wait.
He tells Eva, I don't ever want to see her in my shop again. For all I care, she can shop with the traveling merchants anytime she wants. Let them swindle her. I know what kind of goods they sell, and it's garbage.
All right. Very well. Oh dear. So I grabbed
He starts, like, hitting himself in the head. He's not mentally stable. He's just like losing it.
I'm just gonna walk away. I'm gonna walk elsewhere in the shop. I'm no psychiatrist. I can't. No.
Do you want the tent or not?
Yes, I'm getting everything else. I'll be right back in just a moment. I'll set the tent down at the front and just go somewhere else. Shit.
He grabs the tent and starts looking at it, making sure it's all good and there's nothing like tucked into it.
Okay.
Steal anything or anything.
Right, yeah. Okay, so we have a tent. I have a bedroll and I have a backpack, but I don't know if everybody else does. Garrett came with me, did he not?
Yes.
Did he walk outside with Meek or did he stick with me?
I'm still outside looking for my bird.
Oh, okay. All right, you were outside with the bird.
He's probably like arm against the post.
Aww. All right. So I'll grab the tent. Does that come with like the spikes and everything you need to actually like hammer it in? It has everything. Okay. Yep. Very good. I should probably get. Shit, I don't know what to get. I don't know what everybody needs. I didn't ask.
We were sitting in the tavern for like a couple hours. We probably hashed it out a bit. But I think we're all pretty good for a 4-day journey.
For like ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably true. Really, I think the big thing was the tent, and I'm guessing nobody brought up the fact that we lack like bedrolls and stuff like that. I mean, that can be easily gotten. I'm kind of just wanting.
I have a bedroll.
Yeah, I have a bedroll.
Okay.
It comes with most of the like.
Yeah, I think
when they come as a pack.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
The tent's a good call though.
Yeah. So.
As far as the tent goes, after what I just witnessed, I kind of just want to go. And we'll anything else that we might need, we can just get from somewhere else. We could probably get it from my house. Fuck. So I'll walk back up, and say, what? How much do you want for this?
more than 1 gold.
Oh, of course. No. She.
Make me an offer.
I come from now. Listen now, like out of character. I come from a merchant family. What do I know here?
You know he likes to haggle everything. That's like his own trait for everything. He tries to get more than what you would typically pay for stuff.
What would I think is the price for this?
I don't even know how much a normal tent is.
Fuck, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't have my
A two-person tent's 2 gold pieces.
Yeah.
2. All right,
Okay.
so you would assume it's probably 6 gold normally.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll give you 8 gold for that.
8?
Yeah.
After that insult of 1, what about?
Oh, come now. This isn't worth 5.
It's well worth 5. It's in my shop. Will you do 10?
I'll do 9,
Okay, fine. Deal.
and that's being nice.
Deal.
Okay, I'll fork over 9 gold.
He takes it and he's like, he walks into the back room as you start walking out the front door.
Mika's standing outside the door, and you see she just has like angry tears like coming down her face, and was like, "I thought that was a good offer."
It's okay. Kraken will be back soon. Don't worry about it. He's a smart bird.
So I've gathered this, like, on the way out, I'm just like, and that was being terribly generous. My father will hear about this.
I like it.
A Malfoy move.
When you guys
so, yeah.
come out of that shop, you actually see Grona with her friends.
Uh-huh.
And her friends are also typical like warrior types, but they do have one woman. In fact, it's all women. But there's one woman who has a very nice purple robe with runic symbols along the front
Mm-hmm.
from head to toe. And she also typically, she doesn't right now, but you typically see her with an orb. You would know she always has an orb.
Yeah.
And there's 6 of them. So 5 warrior types, and then it looks like this robed figure. And they appear to be heading towards Cracklepot.
All right.
Renmer, we cut back to you. You
Shit.
are walking up to the Lord's Manor. When you get to the gate, there are a few guards there.
Do I know the Lord's? What's the Lord's name?
Great question. I think I wrote that down. I should make one up real quick if I don't have it.
Wait, Renmore's also I'm glad I'm not going to see that asshole merchant. He's probably doing the wife thing to Eva right now.
When you walk up, you see Vesuvian, the Lord is named Vesuvian. He is
Vesuvian.
also a dragonborn,
Right.
a metallic dragon. He is bronze, just
And,
like the bronze dragon in Tavern.
Am I seeing him right now, or am I seeing the guards first?
You're seeing the guards. I'm sorry, and the guards also are dragonborn as well.
Okay.
They are both silver dragons as well. There's more silver dragon or silver dragonborn guards in this town than non-silver.
I seek audience with Lord Vesuvian. I wish to inform him of highwaymen in the region and seek charter to bring them to justice.
Okay, let me go talk to him. He leaves you waiting for a couple minutes. Goes up to the door. It's a long walk, so you're waiting quite a while. And he comes back. It's a couple hours have probably passed at this point. I would say probably up to 2 hours if you're still waiting.
Yeah, I'm.
And when he comes back, he says he will speak with you, but your weapons must stay here.
Unsheathes his longsword, hands it over, and takes out a smaller, broad-bladed short sword with a little bit of curve to it. also hands that over. I think that's all my weapons.
They bring it behind the fence and set it down in a chest, a large chest, for things like this. And you get escorted up to the door. It's probably getting a little dark at this point. When you get to the door, you can see all the lights are on in this manor, and it actually looks like there's probably some people here. You see off behind, or off to the side of the manor, some wagons, a couple chariots, horses that are in the stalls, and the guard takes you in, walks you through the foyer and into a great hall. And you see Vesuvian sitting there in a chair, a really nice chair next to a very nice sofa off to the side. And it looks like the people sitting on the sofa are also dragonborn, bronze dragons. And he says, Vesuvian, I have Renmer here for you. And he kind of steps aside and lets you take a couple steps forward.
I'm going to make whatever the regional bow is and say, My Lord Vesuvian, I am Renmore Garum. I bring news of bandits outside of town. I've encountered a merchant reporting an ambush about 2 days. It was west?
No. Or yes.
2 days.
No. You guys are west. It would be east. Sorry.
2 days east of town. I have come to seek an official charter to bring these bandits to justice.
Okay. I have not heard of these bandits. Surely there's nothing happening on our roads, but should you find something, I suppose an arrangement can be met. What exactly are you hoping to get?
Is there like having lived in the town, is there like a standard bounty for like criminals or something like that?
Not typically. This is like I said, it's a pretty peaceful area. It's usually pretty minor stuff that the guards can take care of inside the walls. Typically, jobs outside of the walls are handled, between, farmers or whoever and whoever's helping them. Mm-hmm. But because this can hurt business, this is a new case.
Okay.
So Vesuvian kind of turns to you and he says, we haven't had problems on these roads in many, many years, since before my rule. I mean, I don't know what to do, really. This is different.
I have 3 additional allies. We could investigate and, if necessary, eliminate the bandits, bringing you proof of their existence and elimination. And in exchange for that, what would you say would be a fair price?
You said it stopped the merchants who were coming into town, huh?
Yes.
That's a lot of money. I will do it for half of what they paid me. So he would tell you that would be about, he says 200 gold.
Yeah. Renmore's not a haggler. He'll just, at this point, that sounds good to him. So he will be.
So what kind of proof can you give me?
We'll see what's left of them after we find them.
Oh, don't bring any body parts. That is disgusting.
We will bring either survivors of the caravan or potentially other aspects, non-organic pieces.
Okay. I suppose that shall be fine. What is it exactly? Why are you offering to out there? You just want to get paid?
I'm seeking work, seeking fame.
I mean, can't you go, I don't know, be a guard for the castle or something?
This is my home and I wish to protect it, and this seems the most expedient way to protect it.
Okay. I suppose that shall do. Yes, 200 gold sounds fair. That's total. not for each of you and your friends.
Understood.
Okay. One of the other bronze dragons turns to Vesuvian and kind of sticks his nose up and says, "Do you really trust this half-orc?" Vesuvian says, whatever. If it gets some bandits off the road and everyone feels better, it's good enough for me." He asks the guard to escort you out. And upon doing so, he says, he does say to you before you leave, "Do not tell anybody that you are working for us. This needs to be quiet. I don't want any association."
He turns and bows again and says, "As you wish, Lord."
And you get escorted back, and yeah. So in
My
that
weapons
2
back.
hours of... Oh, sorry, what do you want to say?
Get my weapons back.
Oh yeah, you get all your weapons back, everything's good. You check, it's all how it was. So it's been a couple hours. They were done a long time ago. I'm assuming that you guys had an arrangement to meet up again somewhere? Probably at the tavern again? Or...
I would think that we headed back to the tower. I don't know what everyone else thinks.
I
Oh, the
imagined
tower?
that we're all standing, looking up at the sky, waiting for a bird to land.
I did say tavern, right? Did I say something else?
You said tower.
Yeah.
Okay, Garrick,
Fuck
give me
me.
a roll. This is for your bird. Have the bird give a survival.
No.
Well, survival he can do.
Correct.
Okay.
This isn't a saving throw, don't worry, guys.
That's a 4.
Okay,
Oh
he is
no!
not finding his way back home.
Yeah.
Okay,
Has anyone rolled over a 10 tonight?
I did.
I rolled an 11.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you guys meet up at the tower then, it sounds like the training area?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant by the
I
tower?
meant to say tavern.
Oh, okay, okay. Maybe
I don't know why it came out tower.
All right, so you guys head back. There's actually quite a few people here. Greg comes in, and Greg does not typically come into the tavern this late. He seems pretty happy. He's throwing them back, having a good old time. And you hear him talking to the person next to him. He's like, I had a good day. I made 8 gold off of that sucker today. And he's got less of a hunch to him now, and he seems real excited. Upon seeing you, he quiets down about that, though.
Right.
So
I just kind
Again-
of eyeball him disappointedly.
I like stand next to her, and using thaumaturgy, I just want to make myself like really creepy looking, like my hair fly a little bit, and I just want to like hiss, like.
when you do this, he kind of looks down at his drink real quick, sets it down, and he puts 1 gold piece on the bar and just leaves. Like he just walks out as far away around you guys as he can. And
I
makes
just
his way out.
follow him with my eyes, just like I have like sharp teeth and just like baring teeth at him. Like I want to like stand so no one else can like see me, but like to where he can notice.
Right.
I feel like I didn't even notice this. I thought maybe I just struck him with a look of like pure. You know what you did, and I know that you know what you did.
Uh-huh.
That it like, and I'm probably surprised by it too. I'm just like, oh, all right, cool.
So some of the patrons here happen to be Grona and her 5 friends.
Oh God.
And Grona, though, they're sitting off in like a private booth. Curtains are partially drawn, so you can see that they're in there, but it's kind of covered up. And there's not a table or anything close to it. I mean, there's a huge distance between that and then like the public tables and bars.
Mm-hmm.
And bar, I should say.
Am I there yet, or?
So we'll say that they've been there and hanging out at a table for a while. Renmer, you appear, and yeah, feel free to tell them what happened with your day.
Well, I have good news. We have an official charter from the Lord, and we'll be paid 200 gold when we bring proof of these highwaymen.
That's nice.
And he's gonna glance over and see Grona and just be like, company in the tavern seems somewhat lacking tonight.
Did you purposely say that louder so that she would hear you?
No, I was just talking to you guys.
Okay. Now, what did I tell you earlier? Pay her no mind. She doesn't matter.
She does not, as we have ourselves a job. And then he looks over at Garrick and like, didn't you have a bird?
Yes. I think he's on a bender right now. He'll turn up.
Oh no.
How did the tent buying go?
Well, we have one.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm gonna, like, gently pat Meek on the head.
Meek, are you all right?
It's alright,
I'm
dear.
shaking a little bit. Like...
Meek, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I thought 1 gold was a lot.
Oh, I'll explain later. And I'll continue to pat her on the head and just...
I look over at Eva like,
It was Greg, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Greg.
He's
It
an
was Greg.
asshole.
Yes, he kind of is.
As you guys are having this conversation, Margot walks up and she looks at Garrick and she's puzzled and she says, "What happened to your Robin or whatever? Where did that thing go?"
He's out having some fun. I'm sure he'll be back. He likes to do things.
So are we drinking for 1 tonight then?
Oh, never.
Oh, okay, so still bringing...
I always drink. Yeah, I always drink for 2 at least.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. So she goes back and gets all your drinks and keeps it going.
Sounds good.
Sorry, I was distracted by the Laura in the chat. Thought it was one of our players' wives. So anyway, Margot goes back. Is there anything you want to do in the tavern tonight? Grona and her people stay back there for a while.
On my end, it's just basically drinking a little bit, keeping an eye out for the bird, see when he finally does show up.
Okay. How many are you going to drink tonight, you think?
Ooh.
I'm underage.
Yeah, there's no age limit.
Oh, no.
Don't card here.
I've probably told her that she's underage.
Yeah, there's not an age limit, but I went for a drink and Eva was like, and then it told me that, so now I just believe it.
To an elf and a half elf, everyone's underage, though, I would say.
Yeah, probably.
I would say on my side, maybe to the point where I see double, but not to the point where I pass out.
Okay,
I like to keep it. I like to keep it about that level.
Okay, noted. Give me a Constitution save.
Oh, great.
Oh boy.
What was it?
Nat 1.
No, it's a 9.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. Okay.
Not great, but
So Grona and her friends get up and start to leave. As they're leaving, they catch Renmer out of the corner of their eye, and they say, "Oh, still hanging out with these people."
What business is it of yours?
None. I just figured, they wouldn't be hanging out with someone as low as you.
What does she mean by that? These people.
Redmore kind of reluctantly stands up. Says,
She looks down a couple inches at you, And as she does it, her arms kind of just flex a little as her hands are on her hips.
I'm going to reach out and run my hand down her arm.
One more.
And I'm going to say,
like
I'm
the
gonna
nervous
say,
energy
"That's
is building,
impressive."
and he just looks like.
Okay. So when you rub your hand down her arm, she kind of pulls away and it's like, "What the hell is wrong with you, you filthy thing?" And starts walking away.
I like turn to Redmer and be like, "Well, that took a turn."
Travel with him.
Yeah, Renmore's just like he like you guys can see his hands are shaking a little bit, and he's just kind of like letting her go,
Yeah.
not responding.
She pulls her friends and says, "Let's get out of here. We've got business to attend to."
Yeah.
As she walks away, I'm gonna cast message on her, and I'm just gonna start speaking in Infernal.
Oh my god!
You see her like grab her head, like, "Oh, why is it doing this again?"
Oh no!
Oh, and
Write
she
that
walks
down
out.
again.
And her friend in the robe says, "What is wrong?" "That headache, it's back. I probably drank too much." But you had less than 2. I don't understand.
Are they saying that as they walk out the door?
Oh yeah, you hear this whole conversation between them.
Lightweight.
Yeah, Renmore's just.
I say that out loud.
They just let it be. They like look back and scowl.
I try to like, or let me see, what is it? Message. I have a component pouch, so I'm just like with this copper wire, just like.
And luckily they weren't paying attention to you in the corner. That Garrick really got their attention, and Renmer always gets their attention.
Mm-hmm. Renmore's
Eva gets their attention too
quiet,
sometimes with her
withdrawn.
comments about, stuff.
She can be a petty bitch. She can play that game. She can play that game.
Okay, so they leave. There's a couple other patrons here, but nobody that looks out of the ordinary. Basically just commoners who are hanging out in their day off kind of thing, or their evenings not working. And there's a little bit of chatter, but the only thing you kind of overhear a little bit is people kind of upset that their favorite, there's no pig on the menu for the night due to the meat situation. And they seem a little upset by that. In fact, some people, once they find that out, pretty much leave right away once they come in. But yeah. Yep. Other than that, pretty uneventful. Do you guys I would say Eva and Renmer at least would stay at home. Garrick, would you be staying with them or in your own place or a tavern or a tavern, an inn?
Yeah, I'd probably stay at I'd probably get a room here, unless, at the very least, get a room here. So. Okay.
I'll sleep wherever anyone offers for me to sleep.
I think Eva would have at some point before have offered her residence to Meek if she ever so chose. So the door is always open.
Okay, then yeah, I would just follow you and then like probably curl up on a rug or something. With my nap blanket.
With her nasty ass mat blanket, she's not going to stay. She is not going to stand for that. She will actually like get you a blanket and at the very least put some pillows down on the floor if you just refuse the bed.
Still accept a nest, yeah.
When
we're gonna make you a right good pallet on the floor and you'll be fine. You're good.
Nice.
Oh god.
So Garrick makes his way to his room somehow, probably with the help of Renmer, I would say, and Eva. They probably help carry him up. Because again, he wasn't blackout drunk, but he's seeing double, so he needs the help up the narrow stairs.
Before I go up, I wanted to ask Margot why there's never any meat here.
There usually is, but the farmers right now say that they can't get it for us. A lot of livestock, cows, pigs, chickens have died recently of sickness. We don't know.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we get all of our meat from the west on the side by the forest. I hear that they still have some meat closer to the castle. I'm sure it'll work itself out, or we're going to have to change where we get it from. But yeah, we just don't have any. And when we can get it, it's too expensive at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will sign off and go to bed.
So yeah, Renmer and Eva help you up. As Meek, Renmer, and Eva walk out of the tavern, you actually smell the aroma of cooked meat. It seems to be coming from the other tavern and inn, the Bronze Dragon one over near the Lord's manor.
Right.
And you would know because they kind of pump it out. They cook it outside in the back in a little courtyard to purposely draw people in. It's kind of their way. But yeah, and I mean, it's probably, I would say, almost midnight. So yeah. Anyway, so you guys make your way back to Eva's place. I'm assuming, so you live with your family, correct?
Yes.
Who all lives there?
So both of my parents, I have a couple of younger siblings, probably younger than Meek, I would say, probably like early teens and younger. So they're likely long since in bed. And then I would assume that we have a couple of people who like help us out around the house and things like that.
Okay. So it's safe to say it's probably a 2-story house.
Yeah.
Kids probably all in one bedroom. Parents have their own room. Servants' quarters, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you walk in, everyone in the house is asleep.
Yes.
Your parents tend to go to sleep because they wake up early and start smithing at sunrise. Your mother's the blacksmith, right?
My father is.
Your father is. Okay.
Yes.
So your father, if you're not up at the crack of dawn, he thinks you're lazy, piece of trash, like get your butt out of the bed.
Maybe not quite that maybe not quite that blatant.
Sure.
But he did instill some very structured work ethic, we'll say.
There you go. So anyway, so he's in bed, your mother's in bed. But as you kind of walk in, you see that one of your siblings is awake.
Oh.
And he kind of looks at you and says, "Why are you bringing strangers home?"
So I'm gonna say that this is the youngest of the three. Myself being the oldest, the middle is probably about maybe 13, and I would say that the youngest of the three is gonna be like 7 or 8 years old,
Okay.
and so he's now. What did he say? Go on.
Why are you bringing strangers home? And he looks at Meek and points.
Oh, this isn't a stranger. You've met her before.
She doesn't talk.
Not very much, no.
She makes weird noises.
That's all right. What are you doing out of bed?
I couldn't sleep.
What's wrong?
I don't know, just nightmares.
Oh dear. So I'm gonna pick him up, and I'm gonna point Meek in the direction of my room,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna take him to the kids' room and try to put him back to sleep.
He mutters to you that he's been having dreams again about the forest being sick, and that fires and things like that are happening in his dreams, and he can't run away from it fast enough.
On the way out of the inn, would Renmer and I have heard what Margot told Garrick?
Oh yeah, you probably would have heard about the. You're talking about the livestock and stuff.
Yes.
Yes, you guys probably would have heard it because he would have been right there.
Okay. How do I talk this through with a 7-year-old? Shit. Well, I'm trying to think. He says again, like he's had it before. So is this something?
You would know he's probably been having this for about a month. Just these reoccurring nightmares. It could have been something he's heard from other kids, things like that. But yes, in fact, what's this? This is your brother, right? 7-year-old brother.
Yeah, my little brother.
Oh, does he have a name?
Sure. Let's call him Jeremiah.
Okay. By the way, that's payback for asking who everyone's name is.
Oh, fuck you!
I do that too.
Oh my god. Fair enough, I accept.
So Jeremiah gives you a big hug and thanks you and holds onto your hand as long as he can before it just falls limp and he's just
he's out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna log. I'm gonna log what he told me away, because that's very odd that I would hear this, and then, or before that, hearing about the livestock, and then all of a sudden my little brother is having bad dreams about pretty much the same thing. So, he's asleep. The other one's good. Don't ask me her name. I haven't figured it out yet. And I'm gonna venture to my room.
Okay.
Where I find Meek on the floor, covered with that nasty, snotty ass map.
Yeah.
As a blanket.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, nope, this will not do at all. And I'm gonna pick it up, by the corner, and just kind of drop it somewhere, and be like, nope, you sit right here. And so I'm gonna sit her on the corner of the bed. And I'm gonna start gathering blankets and stuff like that, and just make her a little nest, because I know she doesn't I know she's not gonna take the bed, so I'll build her a little spot and be like, oh, there you are.
I do one twirl like a dog, and then go to sleep.
Done.
Nice.
There we go.
All right, Garrick, give me a Constitution save.
Oh no.
God.
I didn't drink that much. I only saw 2.
Do a good one.
Oh, that's
Worse than the last one.
Okay.
That's a 3.
Yeah, cool. I was trying to help you redeem yourself on the last one, but it's okay.
Ugh.
All right.
Not rolling on this game.
Okay. Don't worry, it might not matter. Okay. So the rest of the night passes pretty uneventfully. Everyone's able to get a good night's rest. Garrick struggles quite a bit. Maybe he's able to hold his liquor down. I don't know. But he wakes up the next day with bubble gut and I could try to jump into things, but with 14 minutes left, I don't really want to get too far ahead. So let's plan that you guys are making your trek when we start the next session.
Yeah.
That sound good?
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right. If you want to end the live stream, we can talk afterwards. Unless people want to talk to the comments or something.
So,
Actually, just before we wrap up, Eva wants to talk to her dad.
Okay. We could do that.
Yeah.
So he probably was up well before you guys, since you guys were out late.
Yeah.
And he's already over to the blacksmith shop.
Right. So I feel like even though she was up till midnight, she still wakes up about the same time, even if she's like, oh my god, I don't want to be awake.
Sure.
So while the other two are probably still asleep, I would have woken up about right.
Okay.
So I'll try to splash water in my face and wake myself up a little better.
Before he leaves, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you catch him. He's eating like a salad for breakfast. There's some fruit and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And as he's eating it, he's kind of chipper and kind of happy.
Of course he is. He doesn't have to sleep.
Yeah, he's totally happy enjoying his meal.
Yeah, he's fine.
Ah, Eva, join me. I'm so glad to see you awake.
Good morning. Yes. There's have you noticed anything about Jeremiah?
He's been bothering your mother and I sometimes.
What about?
Just his nightmares. I mean, that's typical of a kid, 7, 6, 8 years old.
Well, that's what I thought too, except I've heard some things from some of the other townsfolk.
Like what things?
Not quite to the extent of a burning forest, but somewhat similar to his nightmares.
Okay.
I'm not sure. It's probably nothing. You're probably right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just thought they were just children's nightmares. And I mean, with how much we talk about our love of nature and the woods and things like that, and wanting to have a vacation spot in the woods far away from civilization, I thought, that it just made him really care about the woods.
Well, you haven't noticed anything, have you? Nothing out of the ordinary?
I mean, it's kind of odd to be woken up, but no, I mean, I haven't witnessed anything or heard anything or anything. No, everything seems fine, other than his nightmares. Even during the day, he seems perfectly fine.
All right. It seems that I may be off for a few days. Be assisting the guards, if that makes any sense. Don't usually hang around with them.
They should be serving you.
No, of course, but they're stretched a bit
because
thin.
of your friend Renmer again?
Not entirely.
Okay.
No.
I remember last time he tried to get you out on an adventure, and you wanted to travel for like weeks on end, you said, because you were going to find what was really out there. And I tried to tell you there was nothing out there. It was safe. It was fine.
No. That's not what this is at all. There have been some attacks on the road, and it doesn't seem that the guards are able to spare any hands to investigate.
He pulls his pipe out and kind of just listens. Doesn't even respond. Just gets his pipe ready.
Okay. So I would go on and explain everything. The person running into the tavern yesterday, just kind of breaking down what he gave us and going through all that.
So he, after thinking about it for a second, you see him get up, and he walks across the room and goes into like a little footlocker, opens it up, and pulls a ring out and brings it back to you. And it's got like leaf design and stuff on it, and hands it to you. It says, "This has been in the family a long time. It'll bring you luck," and just gives it to you.
So I'll take it and look it over for a few moments. Does that mean I have your blessing?
You're gonna do what you're gonna do. You're of the age that I can't keep you inside anymore. I can't lock you up. And we've always, as a family, all of us have kind of been adventurers at heart. So you have my blessing. Send word when you can, though.
Of course.
I expect to see you in 4 days, though. If I don't see you, I will be mad. So you better send word.
I will not fail.
Okay. And then he kind of walks out and starts heading into work.
All right.
You get inspiration.
Oh shit. Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. Do I know what this heirloom is?
You know, it's been in the family for a couple generations, all the way back to your full-on elven ancestry.
Ooh.
That is all you know right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, she would put it on and, feeling rather pleased with herself, go back upstairs and wake Meek. Renmer probably crashed on the couch or something like that.
I would assume I was at my own place.
Oh yeah, you have a place. Never mind. Fuck you. So yeah.
I just noticed I misspelled something.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either until you just pointed it out.
I'm like, ah.
What?
I spelled it Tealfing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, anyways,
Oh,
I'll
dear.
get that fixed.
All right.
And I'm probably going to change the live streams to start at 8:30 technically, just because normally around 8 I'm still kind of getting the kids tucked in. So
Sure.
just so you guys know, and I'll update all the stuff for that too. Does anybody want to do anything else before you leave the town?
Did Kraken ever show up?
Give me another wilderness roll for Kraken using his stats.
Oh, let's see here.
These aren't at disadvantage, by the way. These are perfectly normal rolls.
An 8?
God.
No? My number is 10. Like, it's not that hard to beat.
Did we have one successful roll this whole session? I don't think we did.
I don't
He's a
think...
bird.
Oh, I love the dog.
I love how, like, rolling when we don't need it, I just got a 16.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
You guys
that's
will be happy to know
I
I've
just got a
gotten
natural
good
20.
not this. I probably would say goodbye to my family, but that probably can be a next session thing.
Okay.
So
We could start off next session with you saying goodbye to your family.
yeah, because he definitely slept like shit. He's like too wound up after the whole thing with
Too excited.
well no the whole thing with Rona like that kind of ruined his day, and he was a little too spun up after that. So, but yeah, I think we'll that can be next session.
Okay. I do want to point something out. So this is the only session I've ever the only first session I've ever ran with not a single combat. Ever.
Hey.
I was afraid when Garrick went over and felt up her arm that it was going to cause a combat. Like, I was really surprised that didn't end up going into combat.
No.
Old
no.
Greg was close to combat.
Greg would have cowered in fear. I was just every couple of seconds I'm like, I gotta add another layer of weird quirkiness or something.
Yeah.
Just something.
He is not mentally okay.
I thought Garrick like having like a weird way to diffuse the situation, that like Renmore was getting pulled into a fight that he didn't want, and then like
All of a sudden, Garrick...
just had a weird way of diffusing it. Was perfect. I thought that was perfect.
That was...
She's like flexing on him, and I'm just like, ooh, rippling muscles.
Yeah.
We know Garrick's type now. He likes the big muscular fit women. And
That
okay.
that certainly took a turn.
I like a girl who can hoist the mainsail, okay? So
Oh my god. Well, that's the show, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
there you go.
That was funny.
Yep.
I like the Kraken. I like Scarlet Macaw. The Scarlet Macaw.
I love that. It's good.
I don't know how I forgot the name, because I was so excited when you're like, his name is Kraken.
Yep.
And I like couldn't even remember tonight. In fact, I've kept forgetting like your family stuff that you gave me before too. I'm like, oh shoot.
Man, tornadoes do that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That threw me off really bad.
Yeah.
Like, I was super excited, and then like I was getting it all set up, and I was starting to get real nervous, because I always do before I start a campaign in general as a DM.
And then you're like, what is that? That's a siren.
Well, even that normally I wouldn't, for me, but I knew like, I gotta get everyone else down there at least.
Yeah.
And then my daughter was a little freaked out, so I was like, okay, I'll come down too. So that's when I came back the second time. I was like, I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So, but yeah, tornadoes never freak me out. Whatever to me.
Yeah.
I know it's stupid. I know.
No, I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's good. At least one of us isn't afraid.
I don't know. It just, I don't know.
I hate
Never
them.
has. I always thought they were cool. I always wanted to see one.
I mean, they're fascinating, but I'm just like, that's really fucking close. Why?
Well, I am downtown and I'm on the east side,
Mm-hmm.
which normally when like you have like tornadoes and stuff, at least from like what I always feel like I experience, it's always like in the countryside.
Yeah.
Or like, so not only does it have to go through the complete town,
Mm-hmm.
it also has to cross the river before it gets here. And typically water helps kind of ruin a tornado anyway. I don't know. Whatevs. We're all safe.
Which is that's all that matters.
We could have started earlier, dang it. Dang tornadoes. But yeah. But yeah, if you want to end the stream, we can talk or whatever and get some feedback.
All right. Do we want to do some outros really quick before we end it?
Yeah. Go ahead. Start with you, Courtney.
Okay. Well, I'm Cornelius on Twitch, also on Twitter. I try to be funny. I'm occasionally funny.
She has cool karaoke stuff.
Yeah, I stream. I stream a lot of like Twitch things and stuff like that. Occasionally, you'll see me shake it up and play like Minecraft or some goof off shit like that. And I don't really have a set schedule. It's just kind of whenever I can spare and I don't feel like I'm dying. So between work and just whatever else, and just like I feel like streaming tonight, or fuck no I don't, and go to bed. And let's see. So this will be my typical Monday night, or my typical Wednesday night. I play in a game on Mondays during the day. It's with Caution May Contain Nerds. That's at Caution Nerds on Twitch. And then Thursdays, I actually go to a local game store here in Edmond, and I play with a group there. So that's kind of fun. I really enjoy that.
It's not DDAL, is it?
Oh God, no.
Okay, so it's just like a group that plays at a store.
Yeah, I actually asked about that the first time I went in. I asked about Adventures League, and he's like, "No, everyone here fucking hates Adventures League. Like, we've tried it; it sucks." So we have like it's really interesting. I mean, it's a group of like 20 people, but we all split off into groups, and we're all playing in the same world. It's really rather fascinating how they do it, because like it's just this like massive thing. Like each group is looking for is looking for various pieces of something. I'm not even entirely sure what yet. I'm still, this is only like my 4th time going. But like each group is playing the same thing, and like stuff that my group does could affect other people, and we're all on different planes and stuff like that. And right now we're in this we're basically in like this massive coliseum, and so like 3 of our groups are actually participating in the games in the Coliseum, and my group is the super stealthy group. And if none of our other groups get the shard that we're looking for, we're supposed to sneak in and steal it. And so like the last couple of times, it's just been kind of a waiting game, because like we're waiting for the other 3 groups to finish in the Coliseum.
Right.
And then we're just hanging out, like,
D&D
doing
or
other stuff.
something else?
Yeah, it's homebrew, but it is D&D. Yeah.
Okay.
We're playing 5th edition.
Nice. That actually sounds pretty cool.
It's neat. Really
I've
enjoy
heard
it.
of people doing that. Tiefling, Kelsey, do you have any shout outs or anything? Anything you want to promote, plug?
I guess just you can find me everywhere at Lady Tiefling.
Word. Done.
Seriously, find her on Instagram
Yeah.
or Pinterest. She's got some cool loot charts and stuff that you got to check
Yeah.
out.
That's it.
I download them all the time. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
and I don't do anything once I download them, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe in this game we'll use them.
I'll have to ask to loot everything.
Yes.
Are you
Crap.
ready?
Did you make a chart for that yet? Then the answer is no, nothing.
Yeah.
Make amazing loot charts for the shit we're fighting.
Yes.
Mhm.
And don't put like a Grona loot chart out there, okay?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Or
put
Greg.
gold
He
Greg,
says
yeah.
he says don't.
Greg loot chart.
Yeah.
He's saying don't.
Yeah, you're like, you find on Greg, you find
But-
1 fucking gold. That's what you find.
Yeah. I find 8 gold.
Well, 7 now. I
7 gold, yeah.
I mean, the DM said no, but what does he really know, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't even know how
I
to
mean,
stream
we
properly.
get to decide if we attack him or not.
That's right. Yes.
What about you, TP Grant?
TP_Grant on Twitter. I tweet about tabletop games and sporting stylized violence of all forms. Mostly mixed martial arts and grappling. Not as much mixed martial arts anymore. And that's pretty much it. That's mostly where my social media presence is going right now.
Right.
This is the only stream I play on, so that's about it for me.
For now.
You're gonna be in high demand after this because of your beautiful locks of hair.
I mean, it is advanced though. I have some pretty stiff competition on here with Lady T.
Oh, if they only knew.
Yeah.
Oh my
Knew.
god. Yeah.
That picture the other day.
Yeah.
That was solid.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
And by the way, guys, if you want to drop TP Grant, go blue on Twitter. He will very much appreciate that, I'm sure.
Just watch out for Army, guys. Just watch out for them.
Hey, we won. It's okay. We
Listen.
hold them to the least amount of rushing yards they've had in 5 years.
I know. And
Jesus
I think we're
Christ.
We almost lost in overtime. It was heartbreaking almost.
They do that to everyone, man. They do that.
I know. And then Calist.
I'm at Calist here and on Twitter, and you can catch my stream here on Sundays, 10 a.m. Eastern, where I do Let's Learn Starfinder.
Ooh.
And what time is that?
At 10 a.m. Eastern on at Calist for Twitch.
Okay.
We do Let's Learn Starfinder, which is just a group of us who have not all of us have played a lot of Starfinder, just kind of learning our way through the game. So.
Are you the DM there?
Yep.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. Maybe I'll share it for you too on some of my stuff.
There you go. Cool.
I am Juce from Master the Game on YouTube. I don't even know all my handles because it doesn't let me use my handle on all of them the same way. So, anyways, Instagram, it's Master the Game RPG, I think. You can find me. Just type in Master the Game or Juce, Juce 734 on YouTube. That's probably the best way. And eventually I'll get links down below here once I figure out all the stuff with Twitch. I know you can do things like that. I will put links to everybody, hopefully by next week, but maybe a couple weeks from now. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you guys next time.
Good night.
Good night.